Hi guys, my name is Dominey, and I'm a success coach who specializes in showing people what it is that's holding them back from what they want and how to fix it. And that's in every single area of your life. So success here does not mean finances necessarily. It means whatever it is that you want and don't yet have. So there's really no area of life that my work doesn't touch, because the area of specialty is in how you hold yourself back from what you want without meaning to. So one of the things, if you follow me, you've probably heard me say before, that dramatic shifts, and I mean dramatic shifts, can be made in your life simply by shifting your perspective. Now, if this is a concept you're familiar with or you've used this in your life, this is probably old hat. You're like, yeah, of course you can. Because when you perceive a situation, there's a problem, but if you shift your perspective, then in ways the problem shifts. It can honestly completely dissolve without anything physical changing in the problem itself. If you aren't familiar with this topic already, then I probably sound like a crazy person. Either way, keep listening. So I want to give you an example today of how this works and how you can use it in your life right now with this video, okay? First of all, let me just say, this is not hard, okay? It's not complicated anyway. It doesn't need to take years of study or meditation or things like that. It requires some openness, right? Some willingness to change, because if you don't have that, then the change has no room to be made. You must, we talk about being open-minded. Well, the reason why open-minded is a benefit, especially in spiritual work, is because you're considering the possibility that things might have room or might be able to be different. There's a chance they could be different. If you decide there's no chance they can be different, then by definition, they can't be different because you have free will. And if you decide something can't happen and I'm going to be depressed for the rest of my life, then you are very welcome to do that. If though you're like, well, I don't see how it can happen, but I'm open to it happening, great. I can work with that. That's all you really need to create massive, massive change in your life. So I want to give you an example of how this concept works and give you a way that you can try it right now in this video. This is very important. So what change did this particularly make in my life? This one shift was such a game changer, and I teach a lot of game changers. This one might be one of the most influential that I teach. When I think about like what change it made in my life, my first thought is like, what change didn't it make in my life? In particular, I used to be rather desperate for people to like me. Subconsciously, my survival was sort of wrapped up. It was misinterpreted that way as being wrapped up in whether or not people loved me, right? If you love me, then you'll take care of me. That was sort of the image, the idea that I had around my parents, when I had my childhood wounding, which we all have. And so whether it was like I wanted a boyfriend or I wanted, more friends, or I wanted to be popular or whatever it was really frustrating because it never quite seemed to work. And I could never really figure out why. Not that nobody liked me. I was like actually a pretty likable person, but it never seemed like enough, right? I was never satisfied by it. And so it took me like a really long time to figure out why this was happening. But once I did, everything changed. Here's why. What I was trying to do was to fill a hole that existed within me with the love of someone else. I was like, love me, love me, love me, love me. And so when I came into an interaction, even if I said nothing about it, even if I did all the cool right things, the energy, the subconscious intention, which people feel, whether you vocalize it or not, coming through was love me, love me, love me. And that was off-putting. Here's what I didn't realize. This is the game-changing realization. The way people saw me was actually a reflection of how I saw myself. Complete turnaround in my reality. The way people see me is a direct reflection of how I see myself. Direct reflection. So when I gave up trying to get other people to love me, and instead, only through the work that I now teach, right? Through training, this didn't like come to me automatically. I had no idea. I would never have fixed this on my own. Through coaching, through working with people in the work that I now teach, I began to shift my perspective to learning to love myself. Now, this wasn't like coming from like a meme, like just love yourself and everybody do. It's not that that's not true. It's that that's bullshit from that kind of surface perspective. It has to be genuine. It didn't work until it was genuine. Nothing in the work that I teach works unless it's genuine. It's like gratitude. It's like have an attitude of gratitude. You know, it's like we sort of see these memes around and they become cheesy or meaningless. Well, if you look at the reality of it, an attitude of gratitude will 100% change your life experience, like immediately right now, if it's genuine. If you're bullshitting yourself, then it's just another meme and doesn't mean anything. And then, of course, it does have that silly, kind of laughable, element to it, right? So what I wish, the number one thing I wish I had known for all those years that I was trying to get people to like me, is that the way people see me is a direct reflection of how I see myself. And I did not love myself. I didn't even like myself. I couldn't stand the sound of my voice. I couldn't stand to see myself on video. Now I'm watching myself right now. I'm like, ooh, get it, girl. Look at you in your snakeskin. Okay. All right. Get it. Okay. Because now I am radiant with self-love. There's no spiritual secret here. It is simple. Turn your focus to the art of loving yourself. And this is whether it's friends you're looking for, whether it's a partner you're looking for, whether it's business relationships. If you are attracted to yourself, and it must be genuine, can't bullshit yourself. If you are attracted to yourself, other people are attracted to you. This is what I've taught in my work because I focused on dating for many years. And I taught men primarily, not like how to attract life partners, but not by a technique or like, ooh, say this or try this. In fact, I didn't actually really know anything about dating in particular. I told them that going in. But what I taught them was how to see themselves in a way that was attractive, and automatically they became magnetic. And suddenly, men who'd been ignored for their whole lives were getting attention. Suddenly, women were leaning in like, oh, what's your deal? What's going on? Right? Because they're interested. They're finding themselves, oh, I don't know, I'm just drawn. Yes, you are. Because when you are happy, when you are in a state of self-love, it feels good to be around you, just like it feels good to be you, right? Direct reflection of how you see yourself. When you enjoy being you, when you enjoy being with you, other people enjoy being with you also, okay? It's really extraordinary. As you practice this, you will see a difference immediately, okay? So, technique number one, right? Or thing to keep in mind, number one, it has to be genuine, okay? So if you're not there yet, that's fine. Take a step, then take another step, then take another step. I remember when I was learning to love myself, it was like, I think I remember the first moment, at least consciously, that it registered. The first moment was, I saw something that I had done or something that I'd chosen that was like my opinion, my preference, and I thought, oh, I really do like that. Like, I like my preferences. You know, I don't know if it was something that I was wearing, but I was like, I picked that, and I'm like, I agree with my own choice. There's a way, and I've been using this phrase lately, about getting on your own side, okay? Even if you do something you're like, oh, I kind of wish I hadn't done that. Cool, I did that though. That was the best I could do at that time. All right, now I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna make a different choice. Instead of separating from yourself, turning back, looking at yourself and judging your decision, right? For example, if I took a trip to, I don't know, Spain, and I look back and I'm like, I can't believe I made that trip to Spain. I shouldn't have done that. In order for me to see it that way, here we are with perspective, I need to separate from myself, okay? I went to Spain, all of me went to Spain. but now I'm separating from myself and looking back at my decision and judging it. Okay, that requires perspective to do. If I'm just on my own page, then there's no judgment. Doesn't mean I can't do something different next time, but there's no judgment. The judgment is the damaging part. You separate from yourself. You pull away from yourself. You go against yourself. And that is what causes you to be unhappy in yourself. Okay, so here's your homework. 1, practice being on your own side. Just see from your own perspective. You're like, you know what? I bought that purple shirt. Instead of being like, oh, I can't believe I bought that purple shirt. Be like, yeah, I definitely bought that purple shirt. That was what I wanted to do at the time. Now I'm feeling differently. I think next time I'm going to buy a green shirt. See how that whole time you can make whatever choice you want, but take yourself with you. Be on your own side. It's nobody else's job to be on your side. Some people might be, but it's not their job, and it might not last. It's your job. It's your job to love yourself now, not your parents, not your partner, not your children. You are a grown-up now. This is on you. This is the only job you really have in your entire life. If you start here, everything's going to start to shift for you. So I hope you found that useful. Hit the subscribe button, please. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Share it, please, if you know somebody who would benefit. And drop a comment below because I'd really love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.